play a big role. We see that the strengths that Virginia Tech has, we do about $500 million in research every year. And more that research is in cybersecurity, it's in data analytics, it's in unmanned aerial systems, drones, if you will, autonomous vehicles. And these are the kinds of areas, kinds of topics that our veterans are familiar with to a large degree. So they are playing a bigger and bigger role. Our veterans, and not just the veterans we hire, but the active duty folks that come onto campus, the professors of practice, the student veterans who are involved as well, are really helping us build up our research enterprise for the 21st century.
And Virginia Tech has grown really beyond its main campus in Blacksburg. So could you talk to us a little bit about how that impacts your ability or opportunities to connect with veterans?
Well, it enhances it quite a bit. You know, Virginia Tech is a land grant, has an office in every county, 100 offices. We heard a little bit earlier about Virginia Cooperative Extension. We've got campuses in Roanoke, in Richmond, and quite a few in Northern Virginia. In Hampton Roads, we're part of the Tech Center, which is next to Jefferson Lab. So we're pretty much everywhere in the Commonwealth. And that gives us connections to the places in the Commonwealth where we have high densities of veterans, both as prospective students but also as employees. And I think it's only enhanced. The more we grow in the areas where we have concentrations of veterans, the more Virginia Tech benefits by having veteran talent as part of our enterprise. And so we only see that growing. Northern Virginia especially is taking off for us. Lots of opportunities there. We have about 50 students who are active duty right now who are taking advantage of our online courses, mainly at the master's level in Northern Virginia, Master of Information Technology and Executive MBA, that are heavily utilized by veterans and active duty students. So that gives us a portal to that community of talent that, frankly, is difficult to attract to Blacksburg. You come to Blacksburg, you make a commitment. Right? Anybody, and it's a beautiful place to live, but having those connections throughout the Commonwealth is really critical to our future.
Excellent. All right, we're going to finish off this panel with one lightning round question for each of you. Let's start with you, Mark. If you had just one piece of advice for small or medium-sized businesses or human resource managers who are in the audience today, just one piece of advice for them to take away to improve their ability to recruit, hire, and retain veterans, what would that advice be?
So I think what I've learned as I've been in this job just a few days, few weeks, it's interestingly, and I've traveled, I've been on the road, for that whole, feels like 3 or 4 weeks. It's about partnering. There is no shortage of energy opportunities for collaboration amongst like-minded organizations who are trying to serve the veteran community. But I think where there's the opportunity is coming together and sharing best practices. That's really what we push for in the Veterans Job Mission. Is I don't have to have the idea. If you have the idea and it's something that we can partner on, then I think that's how your hiring managers, your recruiters, your small businesses, you don't have to, be the one who came up with the idea. Somebody out there has the information. How do you tap into that pipeline of information flow so that everyone benefits from it, whether you're, hiring or you're starting your own business?
Excellent. Elizabeth?
I would also say partnership, but I think it's also thinking beyond what we've already done, right? One thing that I didn't really get to touch on too much is that, I talked about some of the virtual strategies, and I think that, what does that really, you're probably wondering, what does that mean, right? And one of the things I focused on last year, and I started this with a pilot with our campus team, and, looking at meeting the candidate where they are, right? We're a mobile society. We're very content-driven. We're also very on-demand content-driven. And thinking about how we can make more success in every single in-person interaction, making that more meaningful by enhancing it with some virtual strategies, right? Also, we can't be at every base installation, every event. It's really difficult to do. I wish we could, but we also want to put some of the onus back on the candidate and say, here's a way that you can kind of prepare and get to know us, take the time. Here's a space where you can engage with us, engage with individual recruiters who post chat times when they're available. You can explore the different areas of the business that you can enter in. You can hear stories about day in the life through podcasts. You can have engaging webinars. This is what we are building now. We started this with our campus team. We just did version 2 in the fall of this year, just last month, and launched that for all of our operating companies. And within the next couple of months, I plan to launch this for military candidates, military and military spouses, to learn about the different things that we do from an hourly, professional, trade skilled, transportation, and like supply chain, or whatever the roles might be, so they can understand those pieces of the business. So again, how can we share some of the resources, but also take it to that next level? You know, I am more than happy to share more about how we're doing this, how we're able to partner better with schools, how we're able to partner better with some of the different TAP offices and other organizations to enhance that engagement process and to get to more people, because that broader reach is something that you get access to with a virtual approach. So that's my biggest.
That all makes sense.
Distinct difference.
How about you, Ralph?
No, I would recommend that small, medium-sized companies become, V3 certified. Amazon was recently V3 certified, and I personally, took the initiative and participated in the webinar that companies have to, complete before you're, as part of the process of being, V3 certified, and that's an education that is invaluable, and that'll help those companies that want to connect to the military community talent, understand the talent, understand very quickly how to connect with them, and meet them halfway. I would also, if I may, recommend that those of you who advise veterans and military community members on bases, especially those that are transitioning from the military. I think I see Ms. D from Quantico here representing. She helped me transition from the Marine Corps. I would recommend that they challenge their service members to do the work, to take ownership of their transition, and to take full advantage of all the resources that are provided to them during that transition, assistance program seminar, to include the training that's provided by DOL vets. But again, to bring it back, highly recommend that companies become V3 certified.
Excellent, great advice. President Sands, we'll end with you.
Well, the only thing I would add, because I have the same themes: partnership, communication, reaching out. But I just would point to an experience that I had. I'm a board member for the Northern Virginia Technology Council, and what was really impressive for me in my first couple of years there is to watch them take on, as a community, the veteran employment issue, and as we've been discussing here. And as I came in, they were starting this initiative, and they've facilitated 12,000 hires and 250 companies that have partnered together. And I think the lesson I got from that is, if you're in an organization that has a lot of members, take a veterans issue and try to come together on it, and you'll get a lot more done than trying to do it piecemeal. I do have one bit of advice for Ralph, though. Jeff Bezos has 17,000 veterans he's hired. He wants to get 25,000. HQ2 in Northern Virginia will take care of that in a snap.
Excellent.
I don't know that you're really into that.
Excellent. I can't think of a better note to end on. So thanks so much for joining the conversation, everybody.
That was good.